Hey everybody, today I got Lee and Tyler from Whack Comics. I want to thank you guys for offering to come on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Here we are. Don't thank us yet.
Yeah.
We gotta see how this goes.
Don't make what?
Don't thank us yet. We gotta see how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, there's always a post edit.
Yeah.
So, are you two ready for your keywords?
Oh shit! I forgot about the keyword.
Everybody forgets about that.
Yeah. I am ready though. I've got my Berserker. We just did the Berserker, so I'm gonna write it right on there.
All right. Lee had the sort of same deer in the headlight look that Burke had when I said keywords.
So I need a pen.
I didn't realize we did it before. I mean, I've watched this before, but I didn't remember that you did it before.
I give them to you as we progress, so you're just going to get one word right now.
Okay.
All right, your first keyword is water.
Ooh.
Water.
I've got it. I've got my water.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, how did you guys each come up with your IG handles and your I see the artwork on the wall behind you there, Lee, and how did you guys come up with all that?
Go ahead.
So Whack Comics. I always wanted Whack Comics. I thought with what I was doing, I thought Whack would be a good name. I like that it's like a sound effect, and also that it's like a whack, like that's whack sort of thing, And before I fucking made the Whack Comics thing, I did a search and made sure there was no other Whack Comics because I wanted to be the only Whack Comics. So I wasn't like 100% in on Whack Comics. I was ready to change it, but there was no one else that was Whack Comics. So I was like, I'm gonna be Whack Comics, and then the logo, the picture or whatever, I drew that. First, it was just me in the short box, and then I added Tyler when Tyler became an official whacker, and then Hillary Jenkins, the Eisner Award-winning colorist of what is it, Black Badge, Grass Kings, and King of Nowhere, colored it for us.
Awesome.
Pretty much the story of that.
Yep. So I actually started doing Twitter, and I was doing little comic book reviews. So the whole story, I guess, starts with like Two Brothers Comics. I was thinking about starting YouTube, and Two Brothers Comics basically, without saying it, convinced me not to, because I felt like I didn't have enough to say because I didn't want to give spoiler reviews of comics. And I felt like if I just gave quick little snippets, like, is this worth reading? Is this worth your time? That's all I wanted to know. So I looked on Twitter for reviews and I didn't see anything. And that's all I really wanted. And I was like, okay, well, if no one's doing it, I can do that. And so I started as Quick Comic Reviews because I didn't have a clever name because I'm not clever. And then I changed it. Yeah. And then I changed it to Shattered Glass Comic Reviews because that's basically the best name you could ever want.
I think I like
nice
quick
and short.
Reviews. I think I like quick comic reviews more than Shattered
No,
Glass.
you don't, because Shattered Glass Comic Reviews is way shorter and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
You just think you like it better.
Yeah, you think you like it better, but you don't, Lee. And
we'll see.
Yeah, Shattered.
Only time will tell.
Glass is my last name, so that was
I was
really? Going with Glass. Yeah, my name is actually Tyler Glass. If you look it up in the dictionary,
is it Glass or Glass?
Glass.
So you had to say Tyler Glass,
fucking Australia.
Glass.
So I changed it to Shattered Glass Comic Reviews pretty soon after. And then I had drawn a logo, which I don't have anymore, and actually like took a picture of it and posted it. And then I realized I could do it digitally. And I changed that a couple times. And now I have my logo of my face from our Whack Comics logo that Lee drew right over there.
Me, Lee.
Yep. So my logo is just from the Whack Comics. I just took it from that. And I didn't have any runner-ups. Did I have it? No, because I was like really just wanting something small. Like it's literally a tweet. I just tweet my reviews on @ReadyForWednesday. And that's all I felt like I needed to do. I did. Everyone else does like in-depth reviews of comics. You got to think comics are like 24 pages long. Like, how in-depth do I need to get without spoiling anything?
Right.
I don't want any spoilers, so that's it.
So how'd you two hook up?
Twitter, baby. Yeah, Twitter. We met on Twitter, and then we met up at a city hotel. And then I spilt my beer.
I mean, did you think it was going to grow into this, or did you think it was like a one-night stand all along?
One night stand.
I definitely thought it was a one-night stand because when I first did it, I came on and he invited me. And I was like, all right, who is this guy? And he showed me one of his videos, and I thought it was pretty funny. And then I came on, and we weren't funny at all. We were just like chatting about comic books, and a lot of times we didn't have any of the same interests. And I was like, well, that was good. That was like my only time I'll ever be on YouTube. This is exactly why I never did YouTube, because I feel like I'm super awkward.
I'm super awkward too, so it like perfectly worked. You know, we like grew together.
Does it work? I don't know if it fucking works. We're here. Whether it works or not, we don't know, but we're here still doing it.
I think you can tell by when people in our chat of our live streams and they're talking, and I'm like, there's actually people in our chats, and we're just talking with this boring monotone voice, ripping up a fucking comic book, and they're like, haha, and we're like, feel validated.
I'm drinking Bud Light Seltzer Pineapple.
I just spilled Corona all over my fucking lounge room floor.
All right. So I guess when you get two awkward people together, it becomes comfortable.
Maybe.
It's more comfortable.
More comfortable?
I don't know if it's comfortable, but it's more comfortable.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I'm definitely glad that Tyler kept coming back, because the channel definitely wouldn't be what it is now without him. You know, like, I probably wouldn't even be showing my face, because like I didn't even show my face in the beginning. Tyler was the one fucking that kept on hounding me about it when I'm gonna show my face, so we can have somebody to talk to and not just stare at himself or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it was like every other time I'd be like, "Hey Lee, when are you gonna show your face, man?" He'd be like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
maybe episode 100. I was like,
"Yeah,
dude, we're episode 4."
But yeah,
I just want to make sure we're clear here. This is your face now, Lee, right? You don't have a mask on. No deception.
This is one of my faces.
Another
one of my faces that I have is pretty much the same, but without a beard. Sometimes I shave my beard. Sometimes I do not shave my beard, and it grows into a beard.
Oh.
So it's the many faces of Whack Comics.
Yeah,
basically.
Okay.
And beer on the floor.
All right. Next question. Well, what's the first comic you guys remember reading?
Godly.
I can't remember if I remember reading a bunch of comics. I can't remember what the first one was. I remember when we were younger, my brother, like, because I grew up in a pretty big family, my oldest brother, he would get some comics off his mates and stuff, and we would read them underneath our house. And it was like, we had a 2-story house, and like the first story was just like pretty much a carport, and the rest of it was just like dirt and stuff. But we like set it up as like a little chill area for us kids and shit. Had like a couple of couches and stuff. But I remember a couple of comics that he had was like a lot of Marvel comics, like Spider-Man, some Punisher, X-Men stuff, you know, just like all 90s. I couldn't for the life of me like remember what issue or whatever, you know. I probably didn't even read it that much. I remember just looking through the pictures and then throwing it in the dirt and moving on with my life, you know, and going to climb a tree outside or something, you know. But that was like my first interaction with comics, and like from then I knew I loved them, you know, like the art was amazing, and just like, yeah.
The thing you threw in the dirt you loved?
Yeah, that's how we treated things back in the day. You know, like, well, now in our little cubby house, you know, we had a lot of things that we loved back in there. That was like our little chill area. We didn't think of it as like just a fucking piece of dirt. It was our retreat, you know? It was our spot.
Yeah. My first one I read, I guess comic book wise, I think was The Casting, which is the first one I like went to the shop. My buddy recommended reading it to me, or me reading it. I've been drinking a lot of Bud Light
I would
seltzer.
love that. We
I
should
think
make
this
that a
is
video,
my
your
ninth
buddy
Bud
reading
Light
your-
seltzer, so I'm a little tipsy, which is I'm only drinking it because Hoarder's Hide recommended me.
I've got
Bud Light
Mango
seltzer.
Bomb, sugar free.
Sugar free. There you go. This is gluten free.
Gluten free. I don't know if this is any free.
So I went to the shop and I got that. I thought it was all right, but I kept going back. It was good enough, I guess.
What was it again?
It was The Casting, so it was like the prelude to Dark Knight's Metal.
Okay.
But it got me enough. But if I'm going back to like when I was a kid, I remember every Sunday when my parents were like separated, me and my dad would read the Sunday comic book funnies, basically. And also, I read a lot of Calvin and Hobbes. I think I read all the Calvin and Hobbes when I was a kid, and I loved Calvin and Hobbes. I mean, who doesn't?
But then as a kid, you didn't have actual comic books or read comic books, just the Sunday funnies or whatever was in the daily paper.
Yep. Didn't read any comic books. I was into movies. If you see behind me, mostly it's just movies, and I've always been into comic book movies and just movies in general. So when my buddy, like, we talk about movies all the time, he was like, hey, you should definitely check out some comic books. And he gave me the first trade that I ever read, which one is it? It's the New 52. Is it Death in the Family or Death of the Family? Death of the Family. Isn't that confusing?
No.
It's confusing to me because
Death in the Family. Only one of them dies. Death.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's when Jason Todd dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I read Death of the Family. I remember when I talked to him about it, I was like, it felt so much more like a book than I expected. I felt like it was going to be much more like a animated TV show that didn't really have any depth, and it had a lot of depth. It was so good. So that was the book that probably convinced me to go to the comic shop to get my first comic book. So it wasn't that long ago. What was it, like 2018-ish?
Yeah, it was like 17 or 18, I think, when that came out.
Yeah, definitely not too long ago. But then, obviously, you just keep going back, and then I would read one, and you leave the pile for a month or so. But the pile wasn't that big because I wasn't collecting yet. So I would read like 5 in a row and be like, man, this is pretty good. Maybe I should like branch out and find other books. And then from there, you know what happens. Comic books happen. Look behind Scott. That's what happens.
So you obviously have everything that you've bought, from your first book you bought on.
Ironically,
I mean, other than the ones you sold to turn a profit, but
I haven't really sold a lot, but that first one I ever bought, I have sold. I sold it as a lot as the entire Dark Knight's Metal, with the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. So I made some money on that because I don't give a shit about the Batman Who Laughs. I was like, fuck that guy. I don't care. So
you didn't have any nostalgic tie to that book, though.
No,
didn't bring back any childhood memories.
No, not at all.
Of reading comics on a dirt floor somewhere.
And throwing them in the dirt and stomping on them like Lee. No,
I didn't stomp on them. I didn't. Not
threw them
outside
down?
of the YouTube channel. Yeah.
So, and Lee, you said you don't really remember any specific book.
Nah, I don't remember what the specific one was a kid, but I remember like when I went like back to a comic.
I mean, does one of them really stand out as something you do remember, even if it wasn't the first one?
Yeah, like when I went back to the comic book store and like as an adult, I think it was like my early 20s. Like one of the first ones that were on the shelf that I bought was Spider-Man 700. Which that was like 2010, 2011, somewhere there. And I bought that just randomly because, like, I remember at the city and was just like, "Oh, that's a comic book store. Let's go have a look." You know, I really never really went to the comic book store at the city, so went and had a look, and picked up a couple of random things, and picked up that some Batman. I think Scott Snyder's and Greg Capullo's run just started on that as well, so I picked up that as well, and I think I know, I can't remember if it was AVX or A plus X. It was one of those things. They were like the first 3 comics that I remember buying in my like adult life. And then after that, yeah, I was just hooked. I remember going to my news agent and they had this thing going, like an ultimate graphic novel collection. Like you could get a new comic book every fortnight. It was like a hardcover thing and like the spines would make this picture. I got like 67 of them. They took forever to collect. And I ended up giving up on them because at first it was just going to be like a 60 set collection, and then they upped it to 120, and then they upped it to 180, and then every time they upped it to like another 60. And I was just like, once they upped it to 180, I was like, I'm out, you know. And I was in it to like, I think 80 books, maybe somewhere around there. I don't know. But I still got the majority of them. They look really cool, all the spines together. But they were like, I suppose, what I started reading when I came back.
So, how long of a break did you have from, the comics you somewhat remember as a kid until you said you were in your early 20s then when you started buying again?
Yeah, probably like a good 10 years or so, like probably, like primary school. Because, like, like I said, we grew up in a pretty big family, so, like...
and describe big for me. I mean, what's a big Australian family? Are we talking like Waltons here, or?
Well, I grew up in a household like 5 kids. I was one of 5 kids. My mom was a single mother, raising us all, so she didn't really have a heap of money to spend on comic books or just random shit like that. Real quick. Right. But yeah, so yeah, 5. There was 5 of us all under the one house growing up with my mom, and she did it. She was amazing. I fucking love my mom. She's awesome. But yeah, it wasn't until it was probably like primary school, like between like the ages of like 7 and 10, maybe I can remember reading or like having a love for comic books and all the cartoon shows, obviously, the Batman animated series, the 90s Spider-Man, Batman show, and X-Men, all of those ones. And then, so then like probably around 10 years later, my fucking early 20s, 20 or 21 or something like that.
Always sucks us back in.
Yeah, when back in, it was just like randomly too, like just being in the city, I'm sure, and like seeing that there was that comic book store there, and merging on in. Like I remember,
I stopped and started 3 different times. So,
oh wow, how was your piss, Tyler?
I'm back.
It's good piss.
Yeah, it was so good.
That's good.
You okay now? You ready to continue?
Yeah,
Did you get another beer?
I've had a lot of Bud Light seltzers. It's the sponsor of Whack Comics.
Oh, really? I didn't agree.
You don't agree? Bud Light seltzer?
No.
Hey.
Can you imagine if we got Bud Light seltzer to sponsor Whack Comics?
That would be cool. I would agree.
Yeah, you would agree.
What's the next question?
All right. Well, we got to do another keyword.
Yeah.
Keyword number 2. I'll make it one you guys are all too familiar with. Whack.
Ooh, whack.
We've got 2 W words.
Water and whack.
Whacking in the water.
Oh shit!
Water that whacks.
All right. Question number 3. When it comes to your personal collections, what's your favorite age, genre, publisher, and title?
So my favorite thing in comic books would just be Jeff Lemire. I would have to say, I love everything that Jeff Lemire does. I've got almost everything that he's done. I've got a couple of slabs here. Got a Plutona. This is one of the, what do you call it? 25th anniversary blind box set from Image. And I got
What else? Let me see that one again.
There we go.
Royal City.
And then I've got Plutona also. This one was from Tai, my baby Tai.
That's
He gave
me.
it to me.
Yeah, I'm not familiar at all with either of those.
Oh, really?
Plutona was so good.
So Plutona is about a bunch of kids that find a dead superhero in the woods, and I'll just leave it there because I reckon that's a good way to pitch the story. And Royal City is about a family that is dealing with the loss of their it's like a son or a younger brother, depending what member of the family it is. But it's like a bit of a slice of life story. It's a really good one. I just love fucking everything Jeff Lemire does. Honestly, I could read just him for the rest of my life, and I'll be happy, but I'll be sad at the same time because he makes me cry with everything that he does.
All right, Tyler, do you hear the question or do you need it over?
You have to say it again because I had to pick up my light.
All right, so when it comes to your personal collection, what's your favorite age, genre, publisher, and title?
Well, I'd have to say my favorite age to read is current, because that's basically what I read. I read modern. I try to stay up to date. I try to read like a handful, 5 to 10 comics a week, probably is what I read, that come out like that day. Genre, I'm like, when it comes to movies, I'm into dramas, but when it comes to comics, I'm into anything that the writer makes me love. Like I think I don't love horror movies at all because they scare the fucking shit out of me and I can't sleep. But I've been loving horror comics. They scare me the same, but I don't know why. I think it's because I'm older. Horror doesn't scare me like it used to. But man, the horror comics today, I feel like have been so good. Like Something's Killing the Children. Yeah, that's all I can think of right off the top of my head because I've been drinking. But besides, there's been a lot of good horror comics lately. And I wouldn't expect that out of me to say that because I don't like horror at all. Publisher, I'd definitely say Image. I think they offer more. I like DC. Marvel, I basically don't read at all. So it'd basically be Image or DC. Boom would be right there too. But Image, I think, offers a more broad or just more in general things. And also they have like my favorite book ever, which is around me somewhere, which is Invincible. This is Invincible number 1, 9.8. It's probably about
Nice.
a 9.4 or 9.6, but CGC gave it a 9.8. They're the professional graders though, so don't take my word for it. Take CGC's word for it.
They know. Just think what PGX would have scored it.
Yeah, I might have got a 9.9
or a 12.
Yeah, there's a color break on the front spine. Like you can see it. It's there. It got pressed out, but it's still a color break. Like I have no clue. But that's my favorite book I've ever read. And it's not because it's a superhero title. It's because it's everything. It's a drama, superhero, action. It's funny. It has the most. It might be the most character development of any story I've ever read, not just like superhero. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah. It isn't. It is so good, and I love the show too. I don't know if you've watched the show, Scott, but damn, the
I have
show is
not seen it yet.
fucking good, man.
Go
I
watch it,
keep
Scott.
hearing that.
You don't like the internet?
So if you could only read one book the rest of your life, it would be Invincible.
It would be definitely because it's 144 issues, and then there's a bunch of tie-ins that I haven't even actually read. I know Lee over here, he's read them. I think you've read them all now, right?
Yeah, almost. I'm halfway through
Over
Wolfman.
here.
I'm halfway through Wolfman, and I need to get Capes Incorporated, and then I'll be done.
Up here. Yeah, definitely Invincible. It just offers so much. It has every aspect of comics that I want. And really, if you just want to break it down by like story, there's so many like 6 to 12 issue story arcs that just fucking smack. Like there's so many times where you read a comic book and there's like a maybe 5 to 10 issue arc that just doesn't hit. I don't think that happens ever in Invincible. I told Lee, like, there's probably like a handful of issues of Invincible that I thought were just okay. In 144 issues, 5 or less issues that are just okay, that's pretty insane.
And Lee, you don't care as long as Jeff Lemire writes it and draws it. That's what you're going to read the rest of your life?
Yeah, if he can write it and or draw it, I love it when he collaborates with other artists. I love it when he's doing it himself. It doesn't matter. Give me Lemire.
What's he done with Matt Kent? Because I know you like Matt Kent and Lemire, right?
Yeah, he's done a few things with Matt Kent. He did. Matt Kent did an arc on Sweet Tooth. He did a.
Oh yeah, Sweet Tooth was so fucking good.
Yeah, he also did Black Hammer 40 something. I don't know if it's 46, 47, 48. It could be any of those numbers. It's definitely a 40 number. Might even be 44. Who knows? And then they're doing that one coming up on Kickstarter that I backed fucking last year. Still waiting for it to be finished. That
Detective.
one with, yeah, Detective.
I backed that too. It's
Cosmic
like
Detective. That's
yeah,
it.
I backed it too, so I'm still waiting on it.
With David Rubin. I'm keen for that. And they wrote a Valiant book together called The Valiant.
Coronavirus.
They don't joke about that. They just put out another mask mandate.
COVID-19, it's a little plush toy to make it fun.
So if you carry that around with you, does that mean you're immune? Or you
don't
already
know.
have it?
I should carry it around with me. Make it a
I'm not here
little like
anymore.
fun thing, but it's just sitting next to me all the time. So technically, whenever I'm on Whack Comics, I have coronavirus.
Why'd you have to bring up coronavirus? You made shit awkward, Tyler.
No, I did it. It's fucking right
made it
here. Look
awkward. It was
look
all
how
awkward,
cute
yeah.
it is.
You should put that on a little stick and tie it to your hat when you're at C2E2 and walk around and telling everybody that you have the virus.
Fuck me.
Are you gonna be there?
Unfortunately, no. Or maybe fortunately, no.
There's still time, Scott.
Scott.
No, I got other trips, other expenses.
Oh no! Come on, man.
That's all right. What's the next question? Let's get into the next question. I'm excited for the next question.
He's like, damn it, I got more beer to drink.
Lee is so excited. Settle down, Lee.
All right. Next one. What's that one comic book that got away from you?
Tyler, you go first. I know there's been many a comic book that have gotten away.
So for me, I don't let comics get away from me. I'm pretty much if I have a comic I want, I focus on it and I want it and I get it. Like when I read Invincible and I finished it in December 2020. Is that right? Yeah. And then I bought it. I probably shouldn't have bought it. I spent too much money on it. And I fucking just go get it. And so the next one I'm getting is ASM 50. That's the one. And if there's gonna be one that's gonna get away from me, it's ASM 50. And Scott has it. I've talked to Scott about buying his, but he doesn't want to sell me his.
What is it?
ASM 50.
What is it though?
First appearance of Kingpin.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been a book that you've held in your hand or saw somewhere and said, "Oh no, I'll get it later," or that's too much money, or.
There's been one. There's been a couple at the shop that I've thought about getting, but they weren't keys or anything. Like I want to say there was like a Batman, like 60 or some random Batman number that was pretty low that I wanted, but it was just like I don't need it. It's not a key,
right?
I'm not dying for it, and I've been trying to search more for keys. So, not really. I don't think there's been a comic book that's ever gotten away from me, because when I focus on it, I'll literally sell stuff for it or I'll save up till I can get it. But besides that, I basically go get what I want. That's it. I'll save up. I'll make sure I get it, because if I don't, it'll bother me to the end of time. Unless it like spikes fucking 5 times what it's worth, then I can't get it. Then I'm just gonna be like, fuck it. Like I got the Miles Morales in that month. I want to say it was like last December, November, and it was like just over $300 for a 9.6 is what I ended up getting, and that's like over $1,000 now. So thank God, because if it was that now, there's no chance. I would get like a much lower grade or not at all.
All right, that's the last one on my list for the year.
Yeah, that's a bitch to get. It has gone down a little bit, but as soon as that trailer drops, if you're gonna get it, you better get it soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna drop soon.
So what about you, Lee? So living in Australia, lots of comic books get away from me, and I've just had to. I just had to deal with that. I remember like my first couple of years of collecting, I used to get pretty upset, and like I could probably list you a good number of comics that have gotten away from me over the years, and I've just learned to be like, fuck it. I have what I have, and I'm happy with what I have. It would have been cool to get that, but I'm not going to dwell on it, because if I do, there would be lots of stuff to dwell on, and I've got lots of stuff to dwell on in my life already. So worrying about a fucking comic book that got away, it's not too much to worry about. But seriously, yeah, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of comic books that have gotten away. What
about one? Do you have one that like you wish you would have gotten, just like that one?
Or there one that you saw in the shop and thought about picking up and didn't for whatever reason?
Here's the one, the recent one that got away was just like, I was really keen on Stray Dogs that's coming out, and
oh yeah,
and like I had that on my pull list from issue 1, and my comic book store didn't get issue 2 in at all. They just didn't get it in. They were like, sorry, I'm really sorry about that, but we just don't have it. So I was just like, well, there goes me collecting Stray Dogs. And like, that's what I mean. Things like that happen all the time from my little comic book store here in Australia. And I've just got to deal with that shit, And if like I get upset about not being able to have issue 2 and fucking not being able to finish the set, I'm going to be like fucking wasting too much of my life. So I've got issue 1. I'll wait for the trade paperback and I'll move on with my life.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter. That's a good story to read. So to read and trade, that's a good one to have.
Yeah, so I suppose that's the moral of the story is I usually get it in trade if I missed it. I read a lot of stuff in trades and hardcovers.
All right, so what's that one book that you picked up and regret? Something maybe you spent too much money on, or after you bought it, you're just like, man, I shouldn't have got that piece of shit. I
probably ripped it up on Whack Comics a little while ago and made a whack hack out of it or something.
Tell them one of your first whack hacks. That's a good one.
One of my first whack hacks?
Yeah, X-Men.
The X-Men one?
Yeah.
It was an X-Men Number 4, the first appearance of Omega Red.
Yep.
Yeah, I use that to make some action figures with. Some pretty good action figures. I'm still pretty proud of that.
You know, it was a $5 book then, right?
No, it was slowly growing. It had a bit of hype around it.
It was low though. It was a lot lower than now.
If I had it right now, I would still do it all over again. Like, I don't give a fuck about that book. X-Men number 4, there's like fucking millions of that fucking book around. Are you kidding me? Like, you should be thanking me that I took one off the market.
If I saw that in a shop, I wouldn't even buy it. I don't think I've ever bought a book I've regretted because I base all of my buying off reading. So like, I read We Live, for example, because of Ryan, New Guy, Cosmic Campfire, and Legion of Comics.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to get the Slab because I loved it so much, and I bought the 1 in 10 number 1, and that has like quadrupled since I bought it, maybe more than that. And so everything I buy is based off what I like. So if I like it, I like it. Like, I only bought Invincible number 1 because I liked reading it. I fucking thought it was the best story ever. So I'm not just gonna go spec on shit and read shit. Like, the Miles Morales I bought was only because I thought it was like the best superhero movie ever. I'm not gonna just go buy random shit. So I just buy shit. What about you, Scott? Do you buy shit like that?
Random?
Yeah.
Yeah, just look behind me.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I've read about 1% of them.
Really? Do you read a lot?
No.
How often do you read? Do you read like
I'm
weekly?
reading Bunning Mask right now, and I'm almost through issue 2. I just don't have time.
What's the other most recent comic you've read?
Chasing the Dragon,
I don't know.
which I have kept up on it. Issue 5 should be out next week, I think, the week after. But that's basically it. The only 2 I think I've read in the last 10 years.
Oh wow! So
I used to read a lot.
You're definitely a collector.
Yeah, I used to read a lot. But these are the first new books I bought in 10 years too.
What makes you want to keep collecting when you don't read? Just like your nostalgia?
I like looking at the pictures. Just kind of like Playboy, right? Yeah, I'm in it for the art. If it happens to have a story, then great.
It's interesting to hear different people's perspectives because I feel like you can collect comics for like so many different reasons. Like, I got into Miles Morales literally because of the best movie ever. That was like a big moment in my fucking comic book career, was watching that movie and just being dying watching that movie, thinking it was the best movie ever.
What movie?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite all-time movies, not just Marvel.
I'll put it on my list.
That's so good.
I have an extra Blu-ray if you want it. Do you have a Blu-ray player?
I do, but I'm sure I can stream it somewhere.
Okay, well, if you can't, it's not on Netflix right now. So if you
It is for me. So.
I will literally. It's not.
It is for me. That's all that matters.
This is your Scott if you want it.
If I can't find it, I may take you up on that, Tyler.
No, message me 5 minutes after the stream and check, and I'll send it to you. It's that good. It's that good.
All right, we're moving right along. Another keyword. Keyword number 3. So we've got water, we've got whack. Keyword number 3 is going to be whale.
Ooh, whale.
With a H?
No one says H like you, Lee.
Is that whale with a H?
Yes.
I just had to check.
Actually, you can make it be whale without an H if you want. It's up to you. It's your question.
Wouldn't that be Wale?
No.
No, like whale, like fry.
Love a good keyword.
All right,
Like-
next question. Who are your favorite artists? I think we already know what Lee's answer is.
I think Lee has a bunch. So why
So
don't
I
you
should say, yeah. Other than Jeff, who else is it that you are into on the artistic side?
I like me some Greg Capullo. I love me some David Rubin. I love me some Ryan Otley. It's pretty fucking awesome, isn't he? I'm fucking invincible. Who else do I like? Nicola Scott. She's an Aussie artist. She's really good. The dude on Ice Cream Man, what's his name again? Tyler? Martin
Morazzo.
That one. Is that enough? I can give you one more. I'll give you one more. Jeff Lemire.
Now, do you have any original art?
I don't, but I got a tattoo. Pull up a picture right here.
No.
Can I
It's
share
on-
my Instagram? Yeah, I'll just share it.
All right, let's see it.
All right. Let me. No. Oh wait. I'm just gonna share my thing.
It's way better on Instagram because
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
can't
share it
really
here.
see it on his cam.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
Okay.
Can you see that?
Click through it,
Yep.
Lee.
So that's the panel that I got tattooed on me from Essex County. That's the chick putting the stencil on me. She's getting in me with the inky. That's it pretty much done there. And that's me giving a thumbs up after it was done. But here we go. That's what I got.
And Jeff
So-
Lemire did that one, right?
Yeah, it's a panel from Essex County from Jeff Lemire, Tales of the Farm. And I love it. It's my favorite. But I also have a little bit. It's not Jeff Lemire, but it's from Jeff Lemire title. It's from this one here, Plutona. I have a little sketch card from the artist, MX Lenny. Can you see that? There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty nice sketch card.
Yeah, that's Plutona herself. I enjoy that sketch card. I haven't got too much original art. Oh wait, I pulled this down. This isn't by one of my favorite artists. I didn't even know about this artist until I got this, but this is just some awesome original art that I have to show because it's amazing. Look at that. What's
and
his
who's
name?
the artist on that?
Chris Majunkin. It's so good. And that's me for original art time.
Yeah, that is some sick shit. I love that fucking slab, man. That is the best slab.
The slab?
Yeah, I love that Chris Majunkin slab.
Oh yeah. Same.
What about you, Tyler?
So one of my favorite artists is Martin Morazzo, and it's partly because I love Ice Cream Man, just the story and the anthology. So anthology stories are my least favorite stories, and Ice Cream Man is one of my favorite comic books. So for that to even work makes no sense. But I got this one recently. Let me take this down here. There you go. And this is from one of my favorite
There we go.
issues. I want to say it's from issue 16. I'll double check that in a second. And the dad is finding his daughter's diary, and his daughter is like wondering if his daughter's having sex. And if you haven't read it, you gotta read it. And if you have read it, you know exactly what's happening. Yeah, it's from issue 16, page 4. So this is original art by Martin Morazzo. And I think Martin Morazzo is one of the most underrated artists. A lot of people think his art is very simplistic, I think. But it's so fucking creepy. It works so well with Ice Cream Man. And then here, let me grab this one. This one is the first one I had, and it's the one Lee got me for my birthday. And it's from issue 14, page 13. And this lady is running from these people that are working on her house. I really love just Ice Cream Man in general. So
that's the crossword issue as well. That's why it's
crossword. Yeah,
weird looking panels like that. I love how they use the panels in that issue.
Martin Morazzo is amazing. I fucking love it, honestly. Showing it on screen really doesn't do it justice. And also his art isn't super expensive. You can get it on Comic-Con Art, which I highly recommend because they ship things really shittily. I don't know if you ever saw that one video I did, but they shipped me 4 comic books that were signed by Martin Morazzo, and they shipped it without being bagged and boarded, and they shipped it in like a fucking envelope, and they got fucking destroyed. So I highly recommend them. But besides that, they ship original art well.
So what's the site again?
Comic-Con Art. So it's comic on art. It's not like, yeah, that's how you spell it. And then the other one I would say is Austin LeMay. This is original art by Austin LeMay on Batman 100, which is a major first appearance of Ghostmaker.
So that's the one that you outbid Nick on.
I did. And it was like Nick and DJ Lynx, I think. I was going all in on this one, and I will be again on C3, Comics Curing Cancer. This might come out after Comics Curing Cancer, so that'll be interesting if I actually end up winning that or if I don't and I fucking take the L. But either way, I'm going hard for that fucking Austin LeMay original because he is so fucking good. This I said it on a video we already did, which hasn't been posted. But this was the art that I decided I needed an Austin LeMay color version of one of his comics because I thought his color was so good. Obviously, it's very simple and it's very there's not a ton of color on there. It's just a little bit of green, but I loved it. So the fact that he put this for sale and Legion of Comics went to sleep, hashtag thank you, Legion of Comics. And then I also have this Austin LeMay, Something's Killing the Children Octo sketch, and he's saying Austin LeMay's artistic signature, which is amazing. I just think Austin LeMay is awesome. He's a really cool guy, and he's really good at art. And this is a 9.9, which I literally don't give a fuck about, but
yeah.
I feel like I'm a bad comic book.
It's something that was drawn on gets a 9.9.
Yeah, I'm a bad comic collector for not caring about the 9.9, but like I just don't give a fuck. I talked to him about trading for this before it was a 9.9. If this was a 9.0, I still would have wanted it. It doesn't make any difference. It's really well done. So this will forever be in my background. And Austin also did an original art piece for our 24-hour fundraiser of our logo, and then we gave away a few things with our logo on it from Whack Comics. So he did this for free because Austin's awesome.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and he even gave me a certificate of authenticity.
classic.
Yeah. I felt like that was a little over the top. I didn't really need the flipping off. Kind of offended me, honestly. I don't get offended easily, but that definitely offended me.
Somehow I don't believe you. I'm not going to call you a liar, but I just don't believe you.
But besides that, I would say my next favorite artist is Lee Bermejo. I've done a short about him. I have a ton of just Lee Bermejo covers. So this is like a Two-Face cover. I think Lee Bermejo is one of the best Batman artists out there. It just seems so realistic. His realism of the bat suit really makes me feel like Batman's real, which he's not. So that's pretty cool. But
you should have done spoiler alert before you said that.
Why?
That Batman's not real.
Oh, fuck me. Sorry, Scott.
I'll edit it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, but my entire like background up there, and I've done a short. If you want to look at White Comics, don't subscribe to White Comics though, or it will bother you a lot. Unless you want to subscribe and you want to be bothered, then you should. Then you can check out my short.
All right. Got something else to add?
I was gonna say the first thing that made me love Bermejo was Batman Damned. So Batman Damned was a little bit confusing, and it was definitely earlier in my reading career. So I was like, "Fuck! Like, what is going on?" When I was reading it issue by issue, but God, that art. I could have looked at that art with zero fucking word bubbles and been completely enthralled in it. Did you read Batman Damned, Lee?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, man, I didn't.
Oh my God, you haven't read Batman Damned?
Yeah, I will never read it.
Why?
Because you like it.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh. Exit stage left. What do you think? Another piss break?
Probably.
Or is he out of beer?
I think he might be doing another piss break. I might go do a piss break while he's doing one at the same time. We may as well have a tag team piss break.
So this is where I could drop the intermission music. Or not.
Lee got up too?
Yeah, he went on a piss break since you did.
We were supposed to do it at different times. So that way we could not have a lull.
I just like a couple of women having to go to the bathroom together.
Yeah, that is true.
So you got that question formed in your head yet?
Water, whack, and whale.
You got one more word to go yet, too.
I definitely don't have it yet, but when I have the fourth word, I think I'm going to have it. I just know it. Do we get it? Do we get it now?
No, you got one more question. Then I'll give you the fourth word. And then you got one more question, so you got a little time to think about it.
Okay. Yeah, I hope it's another W word.
It is.
Okay. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be fitting.
Yeah, I was on the fence. Do I give you another W or I just totally throw you off and give you something like an A word? Like
Ooh, that
apple.
would have thrown me off. Thank God I didn't get too thrown off.
Sorry, I'm back.
All right. Question number 6.
Did I need to write down a word?
No, not to another word yet. Almost.
All right.
After
All right.
this question. So, question number 6. Do you guys collect anything outside of the comic book realm?
Yeah, I know Tyler collects a bunch of different stuff. Show your tough stuff.
You want me to start?
You got stuff.
Well, I collect a lot of like random 6-inch figures kind of thing, like McFarlane and Power Rangers figures, which I did not fucking grab because those are, like once you stand up a figure, if you move it, it's never going to stand up again. But the thing I'm most proud of is my Steamboat Willie Disney pin collection. I am 99.999% sure that I have the biggest Steamboat Willie pin collection in the entire world. And I'm not kidding. In the entire world, I don't think anyone has a bigger collection than me. So my wife got me this Steamboat Willie hat. Steamboat Willie.
Is it upside down?
No, it's not.
That's the hat?
Yep.
Oh.
So this is like the top. Yeah, it's because there's a bunch of pins on it. So pins, there's like a bunch of little pins on there. Steamboat Willie is the first sound cartoon from Walt Disney, and it came out in 1928, November 28th, I believe. And
the Wikipedia article or something? What the fuck?
No, I just like Steamboat Willie a lot. And I think Steamboat Willie changed like the whole interface of like movies and TV shows and everything. So this was like the first thing that ever had sound to it for a cartoon. I love Steamboat Willie. This is the first thing she bought me, and I put pins on it and I said, wow, that's not even close to enough. So after this, I was like,
wait, is that really the first thing that Lisa bought you?
No, it's one of the like first Steamboat Willie things she bought me.
Ah, I thought you meant like the first thing that she bought you.
No. I don't even think I can fit this in the screen, but I still brought it out. These are the rest of my Steamboat Willie pens. I don't know how many I have. I haven't counted them, but like I've got just a ton. I have more on the way. There's like Steamboat Forky right there. Steamboat Willie as Bubbles. That Steamboat Willie. So like I have a few Steamboat Willies. There's a profile pin there right in the middle. I wonder if I can show it. Right there. That one is a very, very expensive pin. And it's just like really rare. So like to have that paired with a few of the other pins I have is just incredibly rare. Hey Lisa. And I that is one of the reasons why I think I have one of the biggest Steamboat Willie collections in the whole world, because I just have like a lot of very, very rare pins that are hard to even be coupled with each other.
You'll get no arguments from me on that one.
Yeah, I really do. If I had to bet my life on if I have the biggest Steamboat Willie pin collection, I would, because I've got them all. I've got as many as you can get. I don't have them all. That's definitely not possible, because there are things that came out before I was born, and I was born in 2001. So
the thing is with something like that, when you see a pin, how do you know you don't already have it?
I definitely know. There's not a doubt in my mind. I know exactly what I have and exactly what I paid for it. Like this here, I'll show you. Which one? This big one right here in the middle. That's an Artland pen that's like limited edition of, I want to say it's 75. So I'd have to like take all these off to prove it, but that's limited edition of 75. And that one came out pretty recently. It sold out in like within 5 minutes. I don't think you can get it. There's nothing on eBay. It doesn't exist. You have to get it or that's it. So whenever I hear a Steamboat Willie pin's coming out, I'm down.
So how many of those are old, and how many are like reproduction or commemorative type pins?
Well, there are no reproduction pins. So when it comes to Disney pins, it's like that's the pin or that's not the pin. Like it doesn't exist if it's reproduction. So I'd say within the last 10 years, it's probably about 90% or more. And then past 2001, there's probably like 10%, which is, I want to say 2001 was the first year for Disney pin trading. So there's very few of those. And
when did you
start
start this obsession?
I started it in the year 2000. So I got into Disney pin collecting right before the craze really happened. And that's kind of why I have such a big collection of Steamboat Willie pins.
And is it only Steamboat Willie? Do you do any of the other Disney pins?
Yeah, I do have more. I have like a mini Ratatouille collection because Ratatouille is my favorite Disney Pixar. That's in my kitchen. I didn't grab those because I grabbed all these and this is so much already. But yeah, I love Ratatouille, and I like my wife. I got my wife into Disney pin collecting, and she has a bunch of pins. But there's nothing like this collection. Honestly, I don't even know what I would sell this for because it's insane for what it is. At least $20.
At least.
At least.
I think you're stretching, but I mean, good luck with it.
Yeah, $15-$20, maybe a little bit more. Easy.
So what else? Movies, obviously.
Yeah, I've always been into movies, so movies is an easy one. I've collected movies since I was like a child. I still have some DVDs that are behind me that I haven't even replaced with Blu-rays, but movie collecting is a lot different today because I try to be more picky because I'm so fucking full on movies.
Right.
And I don't love as many movies as I did when I was a kid either. I don't know if it's just because of the movie quality is down or if I'm just more picky, but whenever there's a good one, I'll definitely get it on 4K and watch all the special features. Like the special features definitely make the movie for me.
So what about you, Lee?
I've got a bunch of different random collections. I've got a bunch of Jay and Silent Bob stuff. I didn't bring any of it down because I've already made a pretty big video on it on our channel, even though it was a good couple of months ago. Almost, yeah, it was like, yeah. But anyway, it's a pretty long video. I've got like a huge cabinet full of different Jay and Silent Bob assorted goods. I love Jay and Silent Bob. But I also collect random stuff. I collect tins, like popcorn tins from movies and cups and stuff like that. But one of the things that I brought just a couple of things to show. One of my things that I like to collect also is vinyls.
Nice.
I like me some vinyls. This is Sloth Ross. I interviewed Leah from Sloth Ross.
I watched that. That was a good interview.
Oh, thanks heaps, man.
Yeah. I'd never heard of them prior to that, so I've been checking them out.
Oh, awesome. That's good to hear. Yeah, I love Sloth Ross. They've been a band in my life for a long time. Got me through a bunch of different shit. And yeah, this album, of course, was great. This is just like this picture as well. Leah took when she was like 8 years old at the zoo, and then they used it for the album cover like years later, which is really cool. And then I got one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. What's this one called again? Momentary Lapse of Reason, is it? Yeah, Momentary Lapse of Reason. This was when, just after Roger Waters left the band, After the Wall. This was the first album after the Wall. And I fucking absolutely love The Wall, but this album is amazing as well. It's a good time. And then I got Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love. This is one of the best albums of all time. Fucking this I think this album is what made me a Childish Gambino fan, like a hard Childish Gambino fan, because I was like, wait, he's doing music like this? Like, he literally puts out whatever the fuck he wants to. Each album is something completely different, and he's just like, he wants to experiment in that genre, so he does it, you know? And it's amazing. And this is one of his best albums. It's like a soul album. It's so good. And then I've got Rocky Horror Picture Show. This
Nice.
is like a red vinyl. I love me some Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is one of my I'm not a fan of too many musicals. This is one musical that I can get behind though. I love all the songs on this. Listened to it numerous times. I only found out recently that Tyler's never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No, I've never seen it.
Trying to get him to
Tyler.
watch it.
I'm even like I was in musicals in like middle school, and I've just never seen it. It's weird.
This is Rodriguez, Coming from Reality. This is a fucking dope album too. It's like sort of folky sort of stuff. But really, really good stuff. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. One day when I get to America, because I'm going to go to America one day. It's going to happen. And when I do go to America, every single day when I wake up and have breakfast, I will listen to this album. Okay. Because it's Breakfast in America. And I'll listen to it from start to finish while I have my breakfast. And I'm going to be staying with Tyler for most of the time in America. And Tyler will be mad sick of Supertramp by the time that I go home. Because it'll be Supertramp every single morning for breakfast. I've got two more. Daughter is amazing. It's one of those bands that she just makes me cry all the time, and it's like really sad girl music. And sometimes I am a sad girl, so I listen to some sad girl music. And lastly, this is probably one of my favorite fucking vinyls because it's one of my favorite movies of all time as well. Is The Labyrinth. Some David Bowie goodness. I fucking love The Labyrinth. Grew up watching this shit. All the songs on this album are fucking bangers. I was really sad when Bowie passed, and I think I listened to this album for like, I don't know, maybe like a straight 72 hours non-stop, just like on repeat. But yeah, that's some of the things that I collect apart from comic books. I love music, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I was kind of a Bowie fan. You know, those Labyrinth comics really took off. I don't know why, but there was a limited series, I think a 3-issue limited series, and they're actually some pricey books.
I didn't know that. I have all of them because my wife loves that.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Time to flip.
Yeah, I didn't realize it till I put them in my cataloging software, and it showed a price spike on them. So I looked them up on eBay, and sure enough, they're going for a little penny.
Yeah, I also collect like obviously pop vinyls, action figures. If you watch Whack Comics and seen any episode of Daddy's Toy Chest, you know that I have an infinite amount of masks as well.
Yeah.
I love masks. They're one of my favorite things to collect as well. So I made this one when I was.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that one.
Yeah, I made that at school. In high school, I think I was like maybe 15 when I made that. I was still am a pretty big Slipknot fan, not as much as I was in my angsty teen years though. But yeah, I love me some masks as well. Anytime I see a mask, I most likely buy it, especially if it comes in a good box.
Or if it's made of human skin.
Yeah, a box is more preferable though. You know what would be even better? A human skin mask in a box. Fuck yeah.
Fuck me.
Fuck yeah. Fuck off with your COVID, Tyler. No one wants it anymore. That's me.
All right. What about you, Tyler? Anything else you forgot about?
No, that's basically what I collect. I don't. I've got like a mini Power Rangers thing, but I don't really collect. Like
Don't let Burke see it.
if I had to go all in on one of my collections besides comics, it's Steamboat Willie, and I do. Like I don't. I would say I probably go more all in for my Steamboat Willie collection. I've got 2 pins coming right now that are Steamboat Willie. Like
if you had to pick between comics and Steamboat Willie,
but that's the thing. Like there's so few Steamboat Willie pins, I don't have to pick. So it's such a big collection, but the thing is, like, it's also, I think I have most of them on my board that I just showed you. There's not going to be that many more. It's such a niche market. So me saying that I'm the biggest Steamboat Willie Disney pin collector is not really like a thing to be proud of, because there's probably no one else in the world that collects these. but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm happy. I love Steamboat Willie. I think it's a great little cartoon that changed the entirety of the world. So, and we're moving around.
gotta keep the audience guessing.
Yeah.
All right. Last keyword.
Oh.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I've got my Berserk ready.
What side of my
All right.
did I write it on?
Last keyword. So far we've got water,
Yep.
we've got whack, we've got whale, with or without an H. Our last one is going to be white.
Okay. I've got it.
Got it?
All right. I've
All
got
right.
it.
So, question number 7. Give you guys some time to think about what you're going to do with those keywords. But question number 7, what do you do when you're not doing this, when you're not doing comics or Steamboat Willie pins or collecting vinyl?
So we answer with these keywords?
No.
That's the 7.5.
You got to use those 4 keywords to ask yourself a question after this question.
For 7.5.
Yep.
So I watch like random TV shows. I hang out with my wife. Like recently I'm watching Big Brother. I love Survivor. I dick around and watch a lot of YouTube. Honestly, YouTube has become the biggest thing I do. Whether I'm actually contributing to YouTube or watching YouTube because I have so many buddies on YouTube. Honestly, that's really what I've been doing lately. And I also like to watch the Cubs. I like to watch LeBron James, the Colts on Sunday, Notre Dame. I mean, those are obvious, but those are seasonal. So I'd say, honestly, I probably just summed up like 99% of what I do besides, and also sleep.
And work.
I've never seen you sleep, so.
No, you
I watch
haven't.
him sleep all the time. Tyler and I sleep.
Me
funny
and
'cause
Lee sleep
Tyler-
together.
Tyler's in America, I'm in Australia, but we both sleep at the same time because Tyler works night shift. So we just leave StreamYard on and just leave it running. And so like if I wake up in the middle of the night with a fright, I can turn to Tyler and he can comfort me and we can go back to sleep easily.
Yep. We'll say, Tyler, I had a fright. I said, it's okay, Lee, I'm right here. And he'll just roll over and I'll roll over and I'll just get closer to the camera and he'll see me, obviously, and he'll feel comforted, and then we just go back to bed and we wake up together, honestly.
Yeah.
Sounds a little creepy, but okay.
It's not creepy. It's love. It's whack love.
Yeah. I'm just going to say you sound a little judgy is what I'm going to put out there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you want to join us on StreamYard, you can see if you think it's creepy or not.
You just have to change your sleep schedule.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
So what about you, Lee? What do you do when you're not doing comics and vinyl?
So I like watching The Office. I watch The Office a lot. I fall asleep to The Office. When I go to sleep, I put on The Office. I wake up and I watch The Office.
And
I
that's
watch
on Netflix, right?
I watch The Office on Netflix in Australia.
It's not on Netflix here.
I watch YouTube and then I watch The Office. I play some instruments. I love music. Without music, I definitely wouldn't be alive. Drums. I don't get to play the drums as much as I want to because they're loud. But I've got my guitar and my bass. I pull that out and I give it a crack, and then I watch The Office while I'm playing it. Sometimes I try and learn the Office theme song on the guitar and stuff like that as well, because it's that. Yeah, everyone knows how it goes. Yeah, it's really loud. Yeah. But so to sum it up, music, YouTube, The Office.
Music, YouTube, and The Office.
What about you, Scott?
Probably I would say it more like this: The Office, YouTube, The Office, music, The Office. That's probably more relevant.
Scott, what do you do? Because I know you're here a lot. You're logging your books. What do you do? I feel like no one ever asks you.
I not much. I work a lot.
When you go home from this, though, like, what are you gonna do before bed? Do you watch something? Do you turn something on before work?
No, I'm usually working on something.
So you don't watch anything?
No, I finally watched Loki.
Okay.
I say finally. I almost kept up with it. I'm trying to watch WandaVision, I think.
Okay.
Got through 2 or 3 episodes of it. Unfortunately, it's on in the background, and I'm on the computer working on something else. Because I can do a lot of work remotely, so even when I'm home, I'm doing remote work on people's systems or troubleshooting or something like that. So, but I guess the only thing I do when I'm not working or doing this is I volunteer for the NRA Foundation, raising money for shooting sports.
Oh, cool.
Like for 4-H, Boy Scouts, high school trap teams, archery teams.
Have you been watching the Olympics then?
No.
For those? Because I know there's been archery and a bunch of shooting.
Why are we talking about the Olympics, man? Fuck the Olympics.
Because he just brought up.
Did you really?
I saw Joe post earlier that we, America, won a gold in one of the shooting sports.
Yeah, it was skeet.
But
I know
other
we
than
won
that,
in skeet. I think we won in men's skeet and women's skeet. Australia sucks at skeet. I don't even know if they qualified. So fuck you, Lee. Get good at skeet shooting and then call me.
What are they good at?
Being on an island. I'm sure Lee's going to nothing.
Well, I think all we've got left then is the half question.
Okay.
Do you have yours ready?
I have mine ready. I just asked myself a question with the words, right?
Yes, just ask yourself a question using those 4 words.
Lee, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
What the questions? The keyword questions?
Yeah.
All right, I've got this shit. So I think I have to tell a bit of a story before I get to my question. I'm gonna get to it again. So in Australia, in South Australia, there's like a surfing competition down there, and they do it in the white water there and the waves and stuff. And one time there was this dude surfing, and a whale came up. No, wait, it wasn't a whale; it was a shark, and he went to take a bite of him, and the dude fucking clocked him. He gave him a whack. He whacked him in the face. The shark gave him a whack, and the shark swam off. So this is a true story. So my question is to myself: would I do the same thing? And it's a strong maybe.
A strong maybe.
Strong maybe. What would you
Okay.
do? Do you think for a strong maybe? Do you think you'd punch him, or do you think you'd like scream and stay on the surfboard, or jump off?
Yeah. What are the alternatives?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe to all of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a strong maybe to every single one of those suggestions, and even the one I said.
All right.
Okay, so for mine, would I put my white whale, which would be Moby Dick, my dick? Would I put my dick in water for Whack Comics because it's white whale, whack, and water? So would I put my penis in water for Whack Comics? I would, but when I think of my dick, I think of like my white whale. My white whale currently is ASM 50, so that's the book I'm looking for. I don't know if I'd soak it in water, but I'd dip it. I dip it in water. My wife is over here. She's shaking her head at me. She's thinking, what the fuck is he talking about his dick? You want to come say hi? Come say hi.
Come say hi, Lisa.
Everyone knows you're here now. Everyone's saying,
Come on,
come say hi.
Lisa.
Come say hi.
Come on.
Just come here. Come here. She's coming. She's coming to talk about
now
my
there a
white whale
specific
dick.
temperature this water would need to be at.
Oh. I can't step over all the junk.
Say hi.
I can't hear.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
How you going?
Hi. Sorry you have to hear about him talk about a whale.
This isn't my fault because this is Scott's fault. So, okay. So he gave me water, whack, whale, and white as my question. So I have to come up with a question from that. What question would you come up with? So I'm saying my white whale, which is my Moby Dick, my penis. Would I dip it in water for White Comics? And my white whale is currently Amazing Spider-Man number 50. Would I dip that for White Comics? I wouldn't currently because I don't have one. But if Scott sells me his, I might consider it. But he won't because he's worried about price or something. I don't know. What do you think? Would you dip your white whale penis in water for White Comics?
I don't want a penis.
But what if you did? That's not the point. Answer it. You have to answer it.
Nope.
Nope. Why?
Lisa, come on.
Why wouldn't you dip your white whale penis in there?
Just...
Think about Pinocchio. You've seen Pinocchio, right?
Yeah.
With Moby Dick?
Yeah.
Would you dip it in water for penis?
No. I'm
Okay.
leaving. Bye.
Bye, Lisa. Have a good night.
Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
That was an exclusive. Lisa jumped on. Lisa's drunk. She's always drunk. She just
She
drinks
almost
for.
have to be to put up with you, wouldn't she?
No, she doesn't have to be. Do you have to be drunk to put up with me, Lisa? She said, absolutely not. I love my husband.
I'm pretty sure I didn't hear that. But
Something like that.
something like that.
So my answer would be yes, I would dip my white whale Moby Dick penis in water for Whack Comics. I've already shown my penis, but Lee covered it up with a picture. I sent him the video and he covered it up. So I would have shown my penis on YouTube already, but Lee covered it up with Nick's face from Two
I
Brothers
decided
Comics.
we have to wait until we get to 1,000 subscribers like we planned for our OnlyFans. When White Comics gets 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do
That
our
is true.
OnlyFans. It's going to happen. You're going to see our dicks everywhere.
Yep. My penis will be everywhere.
You guys just hit 750, right?
We're like
800.
We're over
You're 800
800
now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1,000 will be here pretty quick for you guys.
Well,
we'll see.
Share it around, and the sooner you'll see our dick. I know you want to see it.
Yeah,
Scott.
if you really want to see our penises, especially mine, the white whale penis. I mean, I don't want to say it's huge, but it's definitely at least 2 inches long.
And I wouldn't say it's huge either.
But
I
if you
would-
combine
I would
me and
see
Lee's
it.
penis, it's at least an average penis size.
It makes up a penis.
Yep.
It makes up a full
If we
penis
put our
size.
penises tip to tip, it would look like a whole penis.
Yeah. It's like, with Captain Planet, like when our powers combine, Captain Planet, like it's with our powers combined,
With
we have
our-
a full
yeah.
penis.
We have
We
a
have a full
full penis. Penis power.
One full penis coming up in 2 minutes.
Yep.
But it still wouldn't be as big as the one that Jeff Bezos went into space with.
Rub it in.
That's true. Jeff
Yeah, rub it
Bezos
in.
did send a
Thanks.
big dick into space.
We wanted that, but
He's obviously compensating for something, but
Probably
Who
for
is
his
it?
taxes he doesn't pay.
yeah, those taxes, bastard.
all right. Well, you guys got anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, if
Jeffrey Bezos.
yeah, Jeffrey Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos. Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Bezos.
Bezos.
You
Come
did
to-
it!
Come subscribe to Whack Comics and Hoarders Hide.
Whack comics. It's a good time for
It's a
some
good time
whacking.
for the whacking.
We're whacking.
We're whacking.
Hoarders Hide at the
Hoarders
moment.
Hide.
But later we'll be
But later we'll
whacking
be
just
whacking
us.
There's
It's Tyler and Lee.
Tyler and Lee.
Lee and Tyler.
Lee
And sometimes maybe
and
Scott.
Scott. Scott will be on soon. Unless he's not, but he'll be on soon.
Get really high, that really high note.
Oh my God! What was that?
That was my high note.
That hurt my face.
Thank you.
All right. You guys done?
This is exactly what you wanted, wasn't it, Scott?
Just
Scott, we apologize at the beginning and we'll apologize at the end. Sorry.
Yes, we apologize for the least amount of views and the unsubscribers you just gained.
I've learned a long time ago there's two things you never interrupt: genius and drunks. So I'm not sure which one I'm dealing with right now, but I thought I
Well,
played safe.
When it comes to Bud Light seltzer, you never get drunk and you never get genius.
So let me guess, you're out of Zima. That's why you're drinking that.
What's Zima?
Do you seriously not know what Zima is?
I don't know what Zima is.
I don't know what team is.
Oh, okay, I'll explain to you backstage. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up this episode. Thank God.
I'm sorry, Scott. We tried.
No, I had fun. I had
We did
fun. I hope
all
you
we
guys did
could.
too.
This
Sorry,
is what we
Scott.
do. When you
Sorry,
invited us
everyone.
on, you knew what was coming.
So until next time, I'm Scott from Hoarders Hide, and you guys are.
I'm Lee from Shattered Glass Comic Reviews.
And I'm Tyler from Whack Comics.